Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name's Josh.
I'm Clay.
I'm Randall.
I'm Chris.
And today we're doing something a little different today. This was my idea, first podcast back for the new year. And so we're going to run down our top 5 films of 2024. Yeah. I don't know. I had a hard time doing this. We were kind of talking right before I hit record. I mean, I know what my number one is, and maybe the top 3, but it was hard to narrow it down. Number 5 is could definitely be a few different things.
I reworked my list. I was saying it sat for a week and I didn't even think about it. I was like, yeah, that's solid. And then yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, that's not going to work. That's not good.
Yeah, and then we had a little break, so I was trying to watch as much stuff that I had missed as I could. So I got a couple of things that I hadn't even watched when I proposed the idea.
There's 2 that I didn't get to watch that may not have made the list, but I really, really wish I had time to watch them, and it just wasn't in the cards for me to watch it. But
just name those for us real quick.
I didn't get to watch The First Omen, and I didn't get to watch Heretic. I know y'all said I might not like Heretic, so I didn't prioritize it, which is why I didn't get watched. But I wanted to watch The First Omen really bad. It was getting incredibly good reviews, so I don't, or at least in my circle, it was.
Yeah, it's good. Both of those movies are good.
Okay, so I'll watch them at some point. But I did get to watch Anora, so I assume we're going to be talking about that one at some point tonight. But now that I'm looking at my list, it's for me, it's subjectively perfect. I don't think I could change anything. I made the list immediately, and it's actually, honestly, with the exception of 2 of the honorable mentions, could be flip-flopped. Other than that, my 5, there is no way for me to change it, because if I did, it would be retarded. It would just not. It wouldn't make any sense, because it all the way through 5 for me is exactly what I want, where I want it. So
yeah,
I probably had the least amount of trouble. Yeah,
you wrote it down in order and never looked back. It was set in stone.
Honestly,
chiseled it.
I tried to find one more to put in there, and I couldn't, because there wasn't 10. I only had 9 that I even cared about enough to write it down. So
yeah,
pretty well thought out. I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, I have all my stuff ranked on Letterboxd, but I've shuffled them around here or there. And yeah, I mean, my 1 through 4 are solid, but 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could kind of toss them all up.
Yeah. My top 3. It was a weird year, right? It was there was good stuff, some really good stuff this year, but a lot of just pretty good and sort of just not good movies this year. So it was,
and there was a bunch of really good stuff though. That's not the right way to say it. There was a good handful of super solid movies though. So I feel like no matter what genre or category you're into, there was at least a couple of things. And in the last few years has been really strong for horror movies, and that's almost all I watch. So
yeah,
I feel like I've had a wealth of just good times lately. I get to watch all kinds of good shit all throughout the year. My issue is that I forgot half the shit that came out. I was looking at the list of and I was like, oh my goodness. And that's why I ended up with 9 and not 5. My 5 was boom, put it out there. And then I was like, oh, crap. Oh, what about this? Oh, this one too. So, I didn't quite have enough to make a, monstrous list, but I could have.
Right.
Letterboxd would have been a good idea, I think.
Yeah, I'm a type A nerd. I have to list everything. So every time I watch a movie for the year, it goes into the list immediately.
I had that for albums.
Yeah.
I usually do that too.
Okay. Well, I'll start. I'm gonna do my honorable mentions. I'll do throw out my 10 through 6 real fast, and then I'll do my number 5. So 10 is Rebel Ridge, the Netflix movie. Really enjoyed that. Huh. 9 is Long Legs.
Fuck.
Furiosa was 8. The Substance 7. And Strange Darling was 6.
Dang. Okay.
So my number 5 is a movie that I just watched a week ago. I think technically it was a 2023 release.
Yeah, I saw you watch it. And I'm like, he's gonna put this on his list.
I am.
And it's a 23 movie.
I got one from 2019. It's all right.
Well, it is, but it isn't because regular people didn't get to see it till like February.
Yeah.
It was in like festival. Like if you look it up, it says 2023, but that was festivals. It came out.
The Japanese release date was 23.
Yeah, bend the rules, Josh. I know
Whatever.
You do that all the time.
Yeah, well, it's my podcast, so fuck off. Whatever. So
yeah, now you're getting it. Now you understand how that works.
So this is Perfect Days by Wim Wenders.
Oh yeah.
Never even heard of it.
So it's Japanese.
That's your 5?
That is my number 5. Yeah. So
I'm writing these down.
I thought about watching it because I wanted to watch it. Like I saw Clay watch it a while back, and I heard a lot of good stuff about it, but I didn't watch it because I went, oh, it's a 23 movie, so I'm not going to watch it yet.
I'm with you, Chris. Josh over here being a rebel and shit.
Whatever. So I wasn't
on the line.
It's a 24 movie. But yeah, so it was something I'd been wanting to watch for a while and kind of just put to the side because it was so early in the year. But I'd heard so many good things about it. Wim Wenders it's weird because he's a German director. He did like Paris, Texas, and Wings of Desire and stuff. But he did this Japanese movie. It's Kyoji Yakusho, the actor that's in like Cure and a bunch of the Kurosawa
movies.
Pretty
popular, yeah.
He's a huge actor in Japan. So it's a really quiet movie. Definitely, probably not Randy's style. But
yeah, I think I'm already going to pass on this one.
Yeah, so it's basically a movie about mindfulness, and I think it just kind of hit me at the right time in my life right now. I'm like really trying to focus on, paring things down, simplifying things. I think Clay has sort of said similar things recently too. But just trying to like shed off the extra stuff and just like focus on what is really important to me. And that's kind of what this movie is all about. It's just this older guy. He wakes up in the morning. He's got a very regimented life. He does his daily routine, and he's a toilet cleaner. He goes and he cleans these very they're these specially made toilets by these architects, and they're public toilets. So, but his job is just to go every day and clean these toilets, and he's like meticulous about it. Like he cleans the whole thing. He scrubs every speck of it, and he just goes about his day. But he like takes so much pride in his work, and it's all about being in the moment and just being proud of what you're doing and appreciating the moment that you're in, not needing extra stuff. So yeah, I don't. It sounds like a boring movie, and for some people it probably is, but to me it was really beautiful, and it meant a lot to me.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
You're finished with your thought.
Go ahead.
I just want to respond to something you said a minute ago because
sure,
this is probably going to surprise you. This is still on the table. I haven't said anything publicly about this. Maybe to you guys, but not like publicly. I am still contemplating selling like all of my records and movies, and just putting my energy into my label and my store, and just having the best label and shop and channel that I can have, and not being worried about owning all this stuff. Maybe I'll acquire some more over the years, and then I'll do it again. But like, I think there's something healthy about purging yourself of all your physical bullshit. Like, because who needs it? Like, the happiest that I ever was, I think, ever outside of maybe the last couple of years, because I've been having a really great just resurgence in, just mental health and being like, got a little healthier, lost some weight, whatever. But like, dude, honestly, it was like post Harvey, because all I cared about was like hanging out with you a little bit, working, and figuring out my daily life because I had to figure everything out again.
Right. Well,
And
you
so-
lost everything. Like
Everything.
I know you had like a huge accumulation of your whole life.
Yeah.
And you lost most of it.
And so, well, that reset my brain into a different way, man. And then when I lost the comic book shop, I was like, oh, I've done this a couple times now. And then I sold my comic book collection that I had acquired over the past few years. And I was like, man, I don't need this shit. And then I was looking at my records and I was like, dude, it's going to take one band that goes, hey, man, you want to work with us? And I'm going to go, fuck it, sell all my shit. Like, I just don't care about it enough. Like, I love it. And I look at my record player and I go, man, I can't imagine what it would be like to just actually sell this stuff.
Right.
Dude, how long would it take before I had a little small collection again, little 30, 40 albums, and I could just play those? And I mean, there's like 2 or 3 I wouldn't let go.
One thing that you'll like about this movie, Randy, just to tie it back in, is the one thing that he has is a cassette tape collection.
Let's fucking go.
And
I'm back in.
Every day on his way to work, he just plops in a cassette and listens to his music on the way to work, and that's his thing.
I think you should just watch that one part though, and then you'll be happy in that way you want.
You know what's blowing my mind right now is that, like, I was talking to Carissa about this, and she said, well, what would you do for like your music consumption? And I literally was like, I kind of want to just make mixtapes again because I have all this equipment, and I was like, I don't really need. Like, I enjoy that. I enjoy like coming up with a playlist, and then like I'll take a song off this. So like as I'm selling stuff, I could be like making a list of stuff I haven't heard in a while. And let me play this one more time before I let it go, and then I'll play something. Dude, I probably appreciate my record collection more watching it go out the door. You know,
right?
You know, some young kid that wants it, some collector that's looking for one of these pieces that goes, shit, I've been wanting a first press of that, and here, dude, take it, man. You know how many records I've sold off my shelf, dude, in the last 6 months? Way more than you would think. Like 30.
I believe it.
Yeah, like I've always been like that. Like, dude, I could probably put a record out with my Terrifier collection. That's ridiculous. I don't need that shit that bad.
You probably could.
Dude, the fucking face you made. Yeah, but like, you know, it's worth considering. You know.
Yeah. It's a very simple movie. It's about living a simple life.
I kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. There's an end shot that is just this really long shot of him driving, and you see the entire movie. Like, it's nothing like really dramatic happens in the movie, but there's all these little interactions he has with people that mean something, and at the end you just see all of these things. Like, you see the entire movie flash through his face. Like, every little micro expression he makes, you can just see him recounting the past few days, the perfect days. And it's some of the greatest acting I think I've ever seen. It's pretty incredible.
Dude, you got me one to like sell all my shit now. I just want to be like, fuck it, I don't even care. Like,
yeah, it's just a really beautiful movie. And you know, I was flipping this one and my number 4 and my number 6, and they were all kind of like in the same area, but for the moment that I'm in right now, this was the one for me. So let's go to
1.
That was well, no, that was 5.
That was 5. Okay.
All right, so let's just go clockwise. Clay, what's your number 5?
Number 5 is going to be Challengers. I think we all know how much I love Challengers.
I forgot about
big
that
surprise
movie.
there.
That was our last episode.
Oh,
it's been like 3 weeks.
Bro.
I
Then you
that
said
would be
that.
higher.
Dude, I did too, actually. Now, when you said it, my brain went, huh? And it took me like a full minute to go, oh, that's right, that movie.
Randy forgot to put it on his list.
Yeah, it should be in my number 1, man.
Yeah.
Go
we
ahead.
just did a podcast on it. Feel free to check that out.
Did you have any honorable mentions for the year?
Oh, yeah.
You want to throw out your
I didn't have a
runner-ups?
full. Well, let's see here.
Doesn't have to be in order or anything, just like the things that almost made it that didn't.
So Maxine was 10, Strange Darling 9.
Okay.
Substance was 8, Civil War 7, and Furiosa 6.
Nice. Okay.
Damn, Civil War was this year too? Or last year, brother?
Yeah.
Yes.
I noticed they all have strong female leads. I wonder if that's kind of curious.
That's why they didn't make your top 5, bro. You're sexist.
Maxine, Strange Darling, Substance, Civil War, Furiosa. Yeah.
Nice.
And then Challengers.
All good stuff. Yeah. Strange Darling was my number 5 until I watched Perfect Days. Yeah.
And that was what, number 6 for you?
Yeah, that was my number. That's my number 6.
Strange Darling. I love that movie. Very strange. The lady in it is awesome. The characters are awesome. What's the dude? Kyle. What's his face from
Gellner?
Yeah, he's very good too. It's just another kind of quirky, murdery. I don't know. It was a good fit for me.
It was Tarantino with some like David Lynch.
Yeah,
there. It's like it's dreamy, but it's violent and non-linear and lots of fun.
And there was stuff I liked about that movie, but I didn't really like it that much. I mean, I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I know I was really expecting to like it a lot, and I think when it first started going, I kind of liked it. But I called all of it, the whole movie. I knew it was happening, and Carissa looked at me. Yeah, I knew the whole movie. Like within the first act, I kind of had about half of it down.
I think the actual the non-linear structure of it made it more obvious.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what cued me into it. But like, I don't think it was like a bad movie. I think I just expected to like it a whole lot, and I need to like cool off on it and then rewatch it. I think I'm learning that's kind of how my brain works on everything, not just
right.
It's just that's how my brain works.
I think I was caught up watching other things. I wasn't really trying to analyze the plot dynamics so much, and then I was like, "Oh, this is great," But now I see it could be pretty damn obvious. So
yeah, it's pretty obvious, but it's fun.
Very fun. You want to say anything about Challengers or no?
Nah, I'm good. I mean, Challengers is awesome. Everybody should watch it. But I have really struggled with this movie to even put it on my top 5 because it doesn't seem like it's very recommendable. Like whenever I tell people about it, they're always like, "Yeah," and nobody ever really watches it. And then the reviews here were very, very mixed. So I felt like, this is a movie maybe I enjoy, but I don't know that everybody would. So, recommendability was very important when I was kind of putting this list together. And I was like, I don't know that I can tell too many people, but I was like, man, this is my jam. So
I feel that with like everything I watch, except with you guys.
Right.
Like if I talk of movies with anybody, I can't recommend anything to anyone because nobody wants to watch anything anymore. It seems like.
I feel you on that. I don't even care about recommendability. I couldn't give any less of a shit than I do now because I don't think people really are. Honestly, I think that we're 4 of the brightest people that I know, and I think that a lot of people are fucking retarded, and people are kind of just dull. They don't care about awesome, interesting shit.
If somebody was like, "Hey, tell me a good movie," right? I'd want to be able to just. I know confidently that this would be a banger, I guess, in terms of recommendability. I don't know that I'm necessarily like my heart isn't in like I care what people think as much as if you asked me for a movie that I thought you would like, right? I don't know that Challengers would be important. Right?
That's a good point. I probably wouldn't recommend a lot of people Terrifier. Like, I mean, you'd have to be a certain kind of degenerate to be like, "Fuck, that was amazing." So,
I forgot that movie came out this year.
Yeah, somebody recommended me Terrifier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wore my Hereditary shirt into daycare. One of the teachers came out and says, "Oh, I love that movie. I really like horror movies. Have you seen the new Terrifier movie?" I was like, "Yes."
You're watching my kid?
Wow. You're watching my kid?
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Randy.
Okay, in the interest of transparency, I said I had 9, and then one of y'all said a movie that I was like, "Oh shit, that should definitely be my number 6." And I didn't have to think about it. I put it right in number 6. So I'm going to start real quick with my like 10 through 6, and then I'll actually elaborate a little bit on number 5. In number 10, god damn it, y'all are going to be so like, what the fuck? I base this on like rewatchability for me, and like, can I watch this movie over and over and over? And it's kind of like background noise because I don't have a lot of movies that are like that where I can put it on and it's like I don't have to catch much of it and I can go, "Oh, that was funny," or "Oh, that was cool." And I watched a movie this year and I never really talked about it, but I watched it a lot of times because it was just easy to have on while I was doing other shit. It's Lisa Frankenstein. Like,
okay,
it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was awesome, like, man. I almost didn't even watch it because it came on at Alamo and I was like, "Man, I don't want to watch that shit, dude."
Yeah, it looked kind of corny. personally.
Yeah.
It is very corny. You would not really enjoy it, I don't think. But it's like, man, I can watch it with Charlie. I can watch it with Carissa. I could probably watch it with Parker. I can watch it if I'm doing something else. Bricken even kind of like was like, all right, it was okay. But like, it's just like something that like it's got a little bit of my stuff in it, and it was kind of cool. So the other ones don't need that kind of explanation. So in the number that's number 10. Number 9 is Nosferatu. I couldn't put it higher because there's just other shit I like better. It's a fucking awesome movie. Number 8 was Late Night with the Devil. That's the one that I wanted to be higher, but there was just too much good stuff out. 7 was Smile 2, arguably better than the first one, and very surprising because I didn't think it was going to be. Number 6 was Furiosa. I forgot that was this year. I love that fucking movie. It actually made me like the other one more. So that deserves it. So like when you get into the top 5, these are all movies that I will own and watch over and over and over. Number 5 is The Substance.
Nice.
I feel like we all kind of know why that movie is awesome. I just, what's that chick's name in it? Margaret Qualley?
Qualley, yeah, and Demi Moore, yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Demi Moore, dude. Margaret Qualley is so fine in that movie that like she could have a 9-inch dick, and I'd be like, cool with it, man. She's that hot. So like, it's just a weird fucking movie, and it was just just weird enough to be like right up my alley with like. I mean, the eating of the food, like oh God, there was so much gross shit in that movie. And I just was like, I don't want to eat anything anywhere near this film, but I do want to watch it again. And I want to make other people watch it. That's the kind of recommendability. That's the movie that I want to go, hey, watch this shit. Oh no, it's about this like chick. She has some like body issues. You'll like it. And they come back and go, man, fuck you for that. And I go, yeah, gotcha.
Right.
That's how
I wanted to cram this into my list. So like my top 5 so bad. Cause I think it's so unique and cool, and I love body horror. We all kind of do, I think, but that's just kind of my brand of horror.
Yeah,
the Cronenbergy, slimy, nasty. That
is very slimy.
The horror from the inside out is what really freaks me out.
Diarrhea.
So, yeah.
Bad Milo is your favorite movie, I guess, huh?
Blood fountains in that thing were amazing.
Yeah,
when she just started. That was it for me.
So I think that the very end, the blood fountain was what tipped it a little too far for me. And that's like why I couldn't quite get there.
Oh, that's exactly what got me there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Awesome.
But
all right. My turn, guys.
Yeah.
I'll start with my my 10, I guess. I got Strange Darling at number 10. Furiosa at number 9. Immaculate at number 8.
Nice. That's in my 11, I think.
Yeah. Anora at 7.
Okay.
And Kinds of Kindness at number 6.
It's the Lanthimos.
Yorgos Lanthimos. It's an anthology. It's what, 3? Yeah, I think three different short stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not, I guess, his most like exciting movie, but it's really good. I mean, it's got Emma Stone and
I wanted to watch that.
I'm blanking on the guy's name. Matt
Willem
Damon
Dafoe.
looking guy. Yeah, he's in it too. But
what's his name?
Jesse Plemons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play like different characters through each story, and you know, there's got the little Yorgos Lanthimos, you know, style quirks to them
right.
that really work for me. So
it's the like killing of a sacred deer type of tone where everything's just like really weird and funny, but in the bleakest, darkest way possible.
It's not as over the top as like Killing of a Sacred Deer or The Lobster.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there. His style is there. So, I mean, I really liked Poor Things from last year.
Great.
But I feel like it was missing some of that Yorgos, like, I don't know, I mean, I want to say because it's weird. It's a weird movie, but
that's my favorite Yorgos, personally.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? This one?
Poor Things.
Oh, Poor Things. Okay.
Yeah. No, Poor Things is great, and it's weird too. But
I couldn't even make it through 20 minutes of that movie.
I believe you.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it though. There's a bunch of stuff that I wanted. Like,
I think if you get past the black and white when she leaves the house, then you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
More. The first
there's a bunch of movies I'm going to try to retry at some point. I got a whole list of
I
them.
really dragged my feet to watch that movie. I didn't really enjoy The Lobster. I think I never could make it through that movie. And you guys were like, Josh especially was like, you got to go see that. And I did. And I was like, damn, that was good.
Yeah.
Dude, The Lobster's one
really
I flip-flopped on.
You really like Kinds of Kindness that much then?
Yeah. I mean, like I got it at a 4 on Letterboxd. It's not my least favorite of his. I would probably say with Dogtooth or The Favorite. And yeah, it's, like I said, Poor Things is weird. Kinds of Kindness is also a little weird, but I think it's got that dark, I think, edge to it that Poor Things really.
It's horror. Poor Things isn't horror,
right?
Really. It's got the Frankenstein thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
Fucked up in the same way.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
So
it's pretty cool.
So yeah, and my number 5 is Substance.
Nice. Okay. Well, we just kind of talked about it.
Yeah. So yeah, same reasons I'm sure we'd all have to, say about it. That it's fun, it's over the top, it's gory and bloody and cool.
Yeah.
What's old buddy's name that's in that movie? Is it Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid, yeah.
God, he's so gross in that movie, but I love him. He's just bouncing around with his stupid ass boots on. I'm like, this fucking guy.
Yeah,
I really watched. Go ahead.
Sorry, I really struggled with I almost put Nora at my number 5. I was like, I didn't quite love like the entirety of the movie as much. I just like, I'm sure we'll talk more about Nora later, but like I feel like it kind of slow in the middle a little bit where they're looking for the Russian kid, and I don't know. I feel like it gets a little.
You freeze. Oh,
we're
back.
Somebody froze, or
it might have been me because everybody froze for a second.
Okay. But yeah, I was just saying, that I thought the middle of Nora was a little, slow-ish, I guess. And I just got kind of tired of I mean, maybe a recurring thing for me, the over-the-top party techno stuff, like in Challengers. I'm like, okay, I've heard enough. But yeah, so Nora almost made it on my list, but not quite.
Okay. Well, we'll talk more about Nora later.
Yep.
Will we?
I'm going to save that one.
Yep.
So my number 4 is Civil War. I'm really mad that I didn't see this in the theater. I don't know why I didn't.
You have a theater at home, sir. You're all right.
I did watch it in my theater screen at home, and that was definitely pretty cool.
I would prefer that at this point. I wish I had a screen set up like that. Man, that's beautiful at your house. You and Chris both.
Well, thank you. No, it was
mine at home too.
It was. I'm glad I at least got to watch it on the big screen. It's a big movie, but I think what I really liked about is what it wasn't about, because it's about like a near future civil war, right? So, but it's not about the politics of it. It's
not really, anyways. No.
It's about the journalism. That's what I thought was so cool. Like, and the movie itself is being journalistic. It is unbiased, just showing you the facts the way that, just as it's happening. And that's what the movie is all about. It's kind of just like this. It's just like this primal scream to like that we need like unbiased journalism back. I mean, because the world that we're living in is crazy, and you just can't believe anything you hear anymore because everyone's got their sides. It could have been, like really political or one-sided, and I felt like the fact that it wasn't was just really, really smart. And
this is your number 4. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Civil War.
This is my number 4. Yeah,
Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm keeping a list. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the fact that it basically it puts the audience on the hook. Whatever conclusions you draw from it, it kind of point towards your own viewing, your own belief systems, your own like view of the world. Because it's not really reading in to whatever is happening. It's just letting you make your own decisions. Like, it doesn't tell you how things started or why. Like, but we can all like deduce from where we are now how we could get here. And it's just it's a kick-ass movie. It's like it's scary, it's brutal. I thought it was really surprising and really, really good.
I think it was like I have a hard time envisioning what a civil war would even look like, right? And I thought it really did a good job to sort of conceptualize that in my brain, right? You're driving, you can still get around the country in parts, but you better not go to the bad parts, right? And so there's still like supply chains and stuff like that, but it was interesting.
Well, and like the little town that they go to where everything is fine, and then you look up and you see the snipers on the roof, and like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, sure. Like you can just like totally imagine everything, pretty much everything that happens in the movie. And Kirsten Dunst, I think, I mean, she's a great actress, but seemed like something different. Like she just looked so beaten down, like no makeup, just like worn.
Gangsta.
Yeah, just a gangster. Just like you can see she's been through the ringer. Yeah, no, it's just really, really good. We need more like unbiased journalists.
Where are we at as far as spoilers on these movies?
Go for it.
The part where has everybody seen this?
Yeah.
The part where Kirsten Dunst dies, I literally clapped because it was incredibly sad. It was fucked up, man. I was and I didn't clap because I was like, yay. I was like, dude, that's appropriate. That needed to happen in this movie. If that hadn't happened in this movie, I would have called bullshit on the whole movie. Right. And the fact that they went through with it, it was painful. And then that older guy dying was like here's your appetizer, buddy. The main course is on its way because you're going to get attached to her. And then you're going to find out that she's a really good person. And then she's going to get it. And then the one person that's not really a good person is going to be able to shine because of it. And that's probably the one movie that could have ended up in any spot on this entire list outside of one.
Yeah.
But it didn't make the list, which is weird. But it's like... It's just a fucking awesome movie, but I may end up watching it more than all these other ones. It's a good movie, man.
I think when we look back, we're gonna look at that movie and be like, oh yeah, that, you know.
Well, do you remember when I first watched it? I watched it like 3 times. I was like, holy fuck, dude! Yeah, it blew my mind, man.
Yeah,
it blew my fucking mind.
I rewatched like half of it the other day. I just threw it on and watched part of it again. Yeah, it's just like it's not taking. I mean, I think that Alex Garland is probably pretty left-leaning, but it's not about choosing a side. It's about the dangers of being polarizing. You know, like we need centerism. We need to come back to the middle and stop being like at each other's throats. You know.
Yeah, that's why the movie didn't do very good because everybody wants drama. Everybody wants to point the finger, and the movie didn't do very well because. Everybody I talked to or read about it is like, oh, it doesn't pick a side. It doesn't explain what happened.
It makes
and I agree with you. And I think that's what makes it good. I think I could have maybe put it a little higher if I'd have rewatched it.
I think it was probably good that I waited, honestly, like and watched it on my own, like free of whatever. It was far enough away. It was like 6 months after it was in the theater, so like it was kind of far enough away from the
people didn't like it at Alamo.
Really?
Yeah. Nobody. Well, okay, the employees liked it.
I know it did pretty well. It made money, but
I recommended it to a few people, and they watched it. Like people who don't watch movies very often watched it, and they liked it. They all really were like, "Yeah, that was a good movie." So that's
very, very, very mixed bag of opinions. Then I like that.
I bet it was.
Well, you were at the theater, Randy. I'm sure you heard a lot of opinions.
People fucking hated that movie.
I bet.
Oh, you know what though? Okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but everybody that hated that movie was like pro-Trump. Because the fucking only obvious shithead in that movie was very much of that style of person. I don't know how to say it.
The president. Like, yeah. But
yeah, and
but
Jesse Plemons' character, like that's the kind of person that would
sure.
behave that way. Like he was terrifying, and it's like, yeah, dude. Well, that shit exists. Sorry, you don't have to look in the mirror and you know, it's people when you fucking people are acting a certain way and you just grab a mirror and you lift it up in front of your face and then they have to look at themselves. They tend to get pretty irritated because that's just not something they want to look at.
Right, but the president isn't Trump. Like he's much more put together than Trump is. He's like
but it tells you a lot about what people assume. If you see this if you see this character and they don't tell you nothing about it, but he just behaves a certain way, and then you equate that to a certain side, a certain demographic.
Right.
Hey man, hey, that wall over here is pink. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's fucking pink. Look at it. Like it's.
Well, that's kind of what I meant by saying, like,
I know.
Whatever you decide it means is bringing out your own bias, right? It's like if you're, it's going to anger the people that are extreme on either side.
Oh yeah,
right. And anyone who can think about it logically, and has some sort of middle ground is going to see the intelligence of it, I think.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I guess it did what it was designed to do, which is
I think so.
Kind of polarize people. And that is uncomfortable, I'm sure. So
right. Yeah. And I think all of Garland's movies kind of do that. They kind of make you think about uncomfortable things that you don't really want to think about. So, even men. Anyways, Clay, you're number 4.
Okay, let me see where we're at. Dune 2. Yep.
Nice.
Dune 2.
That's my number 3.
I forgot about that one too.
Yeah,
I'm terrible at this shit. I'm sorry, guys.
When I was a kid, I watched Dune all the time, and I was little. I was probably 12 or something like that, maybe younger than that. But at the same time, I'm like, that was such a crazy kind of steampunk movie. And then I watched Jodorowsky's Dune years later, and he was like, "It's impossible to make. It's impossible to make. You can't make this movie." I tried. I had Sting. I had Mick Jagger. I had the president. I had everybody.
That documentary is so crazy, dude.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, my hopes and dreams of ever seeing a movie that is, current with good computer animation and actors those are dashed to the floor because Jodorowsky says it can't happen. But then,
it was kind of considered an unfilmable book for a long time, like unadaptable, like it's too dense. Yeah. And Denis was able to do it. It's a real feat. It's an epic.
Number 4.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Rebecca Ferguson is. I wasn't real crazy. Rebecca was the sticking point for me when I first watched it. I was like, the Francisco whatever chick. She was awesome. I thought she was so attractive, but I'm like, she didn't really look like Kyle MacLachlan's mom. Like, let's be real. She looked like his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But and so when I saw this movie, I was like, Rebecca, she's too plain looking to be a princess. Like she looks, but now I'm like, well, she's killing it. So every aspect of it, probably one of the strongest characters in the whole franchise. So
she's great. Yeah.
I just see Ray Donovan.
Oh, sure.
Genuinely do, but whatever.
Yeah,
he's a pretty guy.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. I remember we watched, I think except for Randy, we all watched it in the IMAX together.
Yep.
And I remember I got chills in certain parts. It's like the one attack scene where it's kind of reminded me of the AT-AT scene where they're taking down that giant ship.
Yeah.
They jump out of the sand and they're fighting all those guys. I like the hair stood up on the back of my arms. I was like, this is incredible. Just so cool. And does the novel justice. It's an incredible movie.
Yep. It's on my list too.
Okay. All right. We'll save it for later.
Randy, number 4.
I'm fucking terrible at these lists, dude. None of the movies y'all are talking about are even on my shit, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? I keep looking down at it going,
man.
I don't think I'm going to touch any of these dudes. That sounded as homosexual as I wanted it to. Number four, I put Immaculate.
Okay.
I love that movie, man. I've watched it probably 6 times. Like, dude, like I'm gonna keep watching it. I love that kind of movie, and that is like the best one I've ever seen. And Sydney Sweeney is so, her eyeballs, dude. She's just so cartoonish looking. She looks like a fucking, if you were like, hey man, draw like a hot Americanized chick you want to see in some hentai. Here you go. This chick right here. Like, she's and the movie's cool, man. Like I watched it again. I was like, okay, am I gonna really like it as much after like I waited a little while. Like I waited probably, I don't know, 2-3 months, and then I was like, oh, I need to rewatch that. I was like, and then I put it off. I didn't know if I wanted to because I just didn't want to. I kind of just had it in this spot where I was like, if I watch it again, I may not like it as much. And then I did, and then I've watched it with Carissa, I think twice. Like I love that movie, man. It's just nunsploitation.
Yeah,
and it's like
awesome.
if you're gonna do something about this kind of subject matter, for me, it needs to be just like this. It's not too long. It's got just enough like little shit where you're not really expecting it, but you're kind of like, okay, they might like the little side chick that they've got in there, the other like pretty girl is the like second to main character who gets like was her tongue cut out and shit. Like that's the kind of stuff I want to happen on the side of a movie like this, where you have the main character and you're like, okay, this is their path, this is what's going to happen. You kind of already know, and you need a girl like that to come in and open her mouth and cause some trouble, and then you see some gnarly shit. Like I don't know, man. This is exactly the kind of shit that I want to watch in a movie. Like I am very easy to please. I'm very picky, but I'm easy to please. If you can get me the stuff that I want, I'll take the same shit. I don't need any kind of variance because I'm a habitual person. So I just
I remember walking out of that movie and I was saying, I have got to get Randy to see this movie. Like he would love this movie.
Right.
Oh, I was so happy when I finally watched it. Yeah. I was very, very, very happy.
Clay and I saw it together, and I think Randy was at the bar when we came out. We were like, that movie was awesome. That was so much fun.
You got to get him to see it.
Yeah.
And like, what makes it up my list isn't going to hit the same, points as something that like you, Josh, is going to put on your list. So I take seriously that you said it was a good movie. It's not necessarily the same thing you're going to put at your number 4 spot, but like, it's a fucking cool movie, man. It's a good time. Like if you're going to come some kind of spooky horror stuff with a little bit of like, religious stuff thrown in the mix, and you want a creepy old guy doing creepy stuff, and then you're like, they're not really going to do that, are they? And then they got like the nail that was driven through Jesus's hand, and then she touches it, and then you're like, oh, I wouldn't touch that with your hand, bro. Like it's just a respect thing. Like I saw that, was like, I would never get close to that. I would just be like, ooh, I'm gonna say a prayer. Like
I gotta say, I thought I knew what the end was gonna be, and I was pretty sure she was gonna do an abortion with that nail. That's what I really thought was gonna happen at the end.
That would have been fucked. I may not have liked that movie as much. That might have been a little much for me.
I really thought that was what was going to happen, but
yeah, that might have been a little much for me.
The end is
that's all
pretty
the
awesome, anyway. Right? Woo! But it goes pretty hard. Like that's what I like about it.
I just think that it's a cool movie, man. I think that's what it is. It's a cool movie. Like it's not technically perfection or anything. It's just like, hey man, you want to watch a fun movie, dude? We can kind of hang out, watch it while we're dude, watch this part. More so than like let's sit in and like, it's not Dune as an example. It's not that kind of thing. It's not this big epic,
Right.
But
it's the right mix of like not taking itself too seriously, but also being really well done at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
I agree with that.
It works really well.
Oh, I want to shout out the like bath gown thing, whatever that is. I'm in.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, the sheer gown.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
that's a nun gown for sure.
Oh yeah, that's the most paused part in my house, sir. Fucking yeah, dude.
If it was a VHS, there would be like a thin spot in the tape right there.
Oh, it would have done snap, bro. What happened in this spot? Don't worry about it, dude.
Right, there's just lines in the screen there. What's going on?
Like, you ever seen the Cinnabon? Yeah, that's what happened to
it. Chris,
my number 4. Yeah, got Maxine at number 4.
Oh man,
I really love freaking Maxine. Like it boggles my mind how bad it did just review wise when it came out, and I think it might be one of probably my favorite of the series. I mean, I really like X, and Pearl's still really good too, but I like just I don't know. Maxine like hits it for me with the just 80s dark neon, and then just silly kills and ridiculous like deaths and stuff, and then the cult stuff at the end that I mean I think it got a little maybe too silly for most people, but
I think that's where people lose.
yeah, but I mean,
Lose it.
I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I think people that say stuff like that like haven't watched a lot of stuff that it's borrowing from and
Right.
homaging. And
It's really a continuation of the conversation we just had with Immaculate. Like it is like a love letter to exploitation.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not like some film expert. I haven't seen every movie. I haven't seen every giallo or 80s or neo
Why haven't you?
or anything like that. But I mean, I don't think you need like to be an expert. But I mean, like
No.
just enough to dip your toes in, as I guess where I'm at, and I can appreciate just where that movie takes its stuff from. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the awesome movie. So number 3 for me was Dune. So we kind of talked about it. I think it's a little higher for Chris.
Yep.
We'll let you talk about that in a minute. But Clay, number 3.
My number 3 was Anora. Maybe it's
Okay.
Anora time.
I'll
let you kind of take it away since I talked about Dune.
Yeah, let's save it. Let's just save it. We'll
save it. Okay, we'll sit on Anora. I love the movie. God dang, I thought it was great.
I'll let Anora sit on me.
I had it's very relatable for some reason. I'm not a billionaire. I wish I were, but
I'm not a thousandaire, bro.
And I'll just real quick say this. I think everybody kind of thinks about a life like these people have, like fantasizes maybe for a minute. So anyway, we'll talk about it. I'm excited about talking about Anora. That was my number 3.
Randy, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Maxine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll piggyback off what Chris said. I also think it's my favorite of the 3. My favorite was X for a long time, and then I watched those 2 movies together recently. And I was like, I think X is a better movie, but I like Maxine better.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie, man. It's me, dude. That movie is me. Like, if you're like, hey, how does he behave? Like, I watch Maxine. He's that chick, dude. He acts like that kind of asshole. Like, it just feels like, oh, I probably know this girl. I've probably hung out with this person. I've been, the end of it is fucking retarded. And I kind of like it. The more, I didn't really care for the ending the first time I watched it. And then the more I watch it, the more I'm like, okay, I don't really care. Whatever. It's so ridiculous. I like Michelle Monaghan. Kind of reminds me of my wife a little bit. Not her character, just kind of physically a little bit, like it's a movie star version of my wife. But I like the other detective and how he's just so bad at everything. He's fucking terrible acting. He's terrible detective. I just like that she does cocaine in this big fucking cup next to her mirror. The whole movie is fucking great, man. I like that Halsey's in it because I listen to her music and I
like the music.
I do like her music. Well, I like Halsey she's a good musician, man. I like her songs. She's good, man. It's just
Kevin Bacon getting crushed in the car.
Dude, I love that. Oh, and I love the guy from the Chicken Shack and Breaking Bad.
Oh,
his character in that movie is ridiculous.
Like, Gus, yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, and when they crush him in that car, you're like, there's no way they're going to do that. And then that is probably one of the scariest fucking things in the world. Can you imagine?
Dude.
He's like, oh, fuck your God. Then he's like, oh, Lord Almighty, starts praying. I'm like, yeah, dude, you fucked that up, buddy. Like, that's on you. I felt
the amount of blood that gushes out of the bottom of the car.
Yes.
When it presses him. I love that.
Yes, so dude. Much. So Maxine is amazing, dude. I love that movie. I would probably rate it like 4.5 on Letterboxd, if not 5. I mean, I might just give it a 5 to just fuck everybody. I don't care. Like, You know me, man, 1 or 5. I don't really go too far into the middle. But yeah, Maxine, awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, what the fuck are you waiting on?
All right, my number 3.
Yeah.
Long Legs.
I got a long leg for you.
Man, I really wanted to watch this again before putting it so high on my list. I almost threw it on the other day, and I just got sidetracked and didn't get a chance to. But I mean, this is another one that just kind of hits all the boxes for me of just, you know, creepy detective, you know, thriller with weird, crazy devil stuff in the end, and
dolls,
you know, weird Nick Cage, and yeah, it just kind of checks all my boxes. I mean, I saw it like by myself in the theater with like no one else around at like 10 o'clock at night. So just, I mean, it was just the perfect vibe for it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it all worked really well when I saw it in the theater.
I've watched that movie an unreasonable amount of times at home in the past like 2 months.
I would love to see it in a theater one more time. I would.
Me too,
man.
Me too, dude. I fucking love that movie.
I assume it's on your list, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I figured anybody's it would be on Randy's, and he hadn't talked about it yet. So.
Yeah, didn't quite make my list, but it's a great movie. I don't know. I don't really like the doll thing. I thought there's like aspects of it that just didn't quite work for me, and I still don't know if I like Nick Cage in the movie.
I definitely don't like Nick Cage in the movie.
So there's a little. I think I like thinking about the movie more than I liked certain things in like actually watching it. That was my.
I have a few more comments, but I'll wait until I get around to talking about
it. We'll save it.
Yeah.
Going higher. That's cool. So number 2 for me is Nosferatu. Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers is my jam. Like I love him. Like I think he's a flawless filmmaker.
I mean, The Northman is his fucking, you know, magnum opus. I mean, that movie's fucking. You like that one, right?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, it's obviously not his best movie, but like,
yeah, I would. I mean, out of the 4, I would probably put that at the bottom, honestly. But
yeah, I would too. I was just being stupid.
But no, that's still a great movie.
I like the movie though. I haven't watched it in a while. I want to watch it with Carissa.
No, it's a badass movie.
I want to watch Nosferatu with Carissa as soon as I get an opportunity to.
Right. I assume this is also on y'all's. Well, I know it's not on Randy's list because he put it in.
Yeah, it's up there though. It's a good movie, man.
Yeah, no, it's immaculately done. It's like thought about down to every like button on every costume and just every shaft of light, and I don't know.
I couldn't believe, some of the stuff you were telling me about how they bought all the potatoes in the city or something.
Yeah, so the
powdered potatoes,
the snow
rats.
The snow is is like potato flakes and stuff because he refused to do it with CGI and like all these. I've listened to like a dozen interviews with Eggers about the movie just because I'm fascinated by it. You know, it's just, you know, it's an amazing movie. I'll let Chris talk more about it in the next round, I guess. But
yeah, I have more to say. But
I mean, we're at number 2.
You
want to just talk about it?
Oh, it's your number 2. It's your number 2 as well.
Can we just have the discussion?
Sure. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Well, I want to watch it as soon as I can get it on a disc. I want to watch it in this room with all the lights turned off by myself. Well, with my wife, I'd like to watch it with her. I want the fucking volume turned up. I want the lights off because I'm telling you, dude. Like I almost didn't put it on my list, but I was like, I have to put it somewhere because I really enjoyed it. I really did like that movie a lot. But that experience in the theater fucked me up so bad.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm ever going to go to a theater again, man. I don't give a shit about going to a theater anymore. I just don't. I'm fucking so I paid $25 to watch Nora because fuck a theater. Like, I'm not doing it. I'd rather just do it here and watch it at the house. Like,
Right.
and I just, you know, I was so turned off by that experience because I drove so far and I was so excited, and Bricken was so excited, and I thought, man, this is cool. It's like I'm inducting him into like my friend group, and he's turning into a young man. He's going to watch a really mature movie. I'm going to see how he likes it, and he's talked about it. He liked it a lot, but he also didn't like the fact that every time he thought he was seeing something, he couldn't really tell because it was all one
Washed
big blotchy
out.
gray. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to see hard lines in these movies, man. This is a dark movie. That's all I'll say. I loved the movie, and I'm pissed off that the experience wasn't as good as it could have been, because it's not the kind of movie I would normally watch and enjoy that much. So I really enjoyed that. Josh enjoyed it, and then I got to enjoy a movie that's on your list and Chris's list and Hugh's list to this degree. It'd be like if y'all enjoyed Terrifier as much as I do. It's the same shit. It's the same exact shit. And so I was pissed off that it was like. And then lady looked at us like, you brought it up. And if you hadn't, I was literally about to say something when you said something. And the look that she gave you, I looked right at you. And I was like, are you fucking serious right now?
That's just how this theater is. Yeah.
I couldn't believe you said that.
That's
I was so pissed off. And she didn't even give a shit.
And she was just a server, so she didn't care.
Well, then she said she'd get a manager so we could at least get an answer, and nobody showed up. Every time somebody walked in, I kept looking over like, is that a manager?
Same. Yeah. The first 20 minutes of the movie, I didn't even know what was happening.
Dude, I couldn't focus at all, man.
I couldn't focus on it.
45 minutes.
So that definitely colored the experience, and I need to see it again. I know Chris got to go watch it again, and I'm jealous. I really want to.
Well, yeah. Here's what's cool though, is that tells you how great of a movie this is. We all had a pretty piss poor experience in the theater, but the movie is this high on everybody's list, and even somebody who really shouldn't have it anywhere near my list, it wasn't even on the very bottom of it. It was still up in my top 10 of the year. So like, you know, I almost feel like maybe that surprised some of y'all. Like I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. Look, I don't like all of his movies that much though. He did The Witch, right?
Yes.
I had to watch that movie 5 times before I liked it. I still don't love it. I like it a lot more than I used to, but fuck, man. This one was great. It was amazing. What was the other one? He did that one.
Lighthouse.
Oh, okay, that's my favorite one of his. But not by a lot. It'd be Lighthouse and Nosferatu. You know, and then Northman's probably my third. Which I have to really. I can't. I don't know. I don't want to shit on that movie. I'm starting to like it. It's really tough for me to sit through that one though.
I think it's highly recommendable as far as like people who don't watch movies very frequently. Yeah, I think they watch it. I love the Klaus Kinski version. I remember telling Chris, and Chris really liked it too.
That's good.
I was really blown away by that one because I love Kinski, not as a person, obviously, but I was blown away by the Nosferatu remake. I think I love Gothic horror, and one of the reviewers on Letterboxd was complaining oh, I didn't connect with the characters and I couldn't really, feel the dynamic of their romance. And I was like, bro, that's goth though. I mean, it's 18th century, romance. Watch Crimson Peak and tell me if those characters are, lovingly connecting. It's a very sort of rigid lifestyle with lots of funky clothes and stuff. I mean, but I love the movie. I thought he nailed every single aspect of it. It's not, I don't think everybody's going to be blown away by it, but I sure was. Number 2.
Yeah. People aren't all going to be just enamored by the craft of it and the technical.
No, that's a film nerd thing
stuff. But yeah, it's it's undeniably anyone who watches it has to say that's a beautiful looking movie. And well told, and I think it's accessible because it partially because it is just a story that most people know.
And when what's his face dies at the end, the vampire, I was like, yes, they did such a good job with this. Yeah.
Rarely do I get stoked by the end of a movie like this, and I was like, fuck, they did it right. That's what actually, you know what, dude? That's what made me like this movie a lot. Is that how hard I am on endings, dude? This ending was about as good as you're going to get in a story like this. And I was like, bravo, man. Just visually, it was exactly what I hoped for. I was like, oh, they're going to go there. oh shit, they're gonna fucking do it, and then they did it, and I didn't know exactly what it was. To be clear, they're gonna go there. They're gonna give you something spectacular at the end, but it's gonna crescendo, and then it's gonna like tinkle off like the little like fucking wind chimes, and it's gonna just die off in sound, and then as it closes, you get up and you go, huh, I kind of have to rewatch that. And so I understand your recommendability comment now, because I was thinking as y'all were talking about it, I was like, okay, what can I compare it to? I wasn't gonna say Crimson Peak, but I was gonna say like Dracula, which same fucking thing, may as well be the same recommendation. But yeah, I can see that now. Never really thought about it, but that's interesting.
Chris, anything else to add? It's your number one.
Yeah,
it's your number one.
I mean, sorry, I had to like step away for a second.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's my number one. I mean, Robert Eggers, I think, is my favorite director at this point. I would give all 4 of his movies 5 stars. I mean, I would put Northman at the bottom, and it's still a 5-star movie. I don't know of any other director where I can say that about. I mean, Tarantino would.
I was going to say Tarantino, but I like all of his movies, and I like Death Proof more than most people do. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where Robert Eggers falls when he's got 10, 11, 12 movies or whatever under his belt. I'm not going to be all 5-star movies. It's freaking impossible. But yeah, I mean, this movie lived up to everything I wanted it to be, even though it our experience got messed up. So yeah, I had to go see it in the theater again, and I sat right in front, and it was nice and dark, and caught all the vibes that I thought I missed out a little bit on the first watch, and I mean, just everything about it is pretty much perfect to me. It's great. I mean, the last 20 minutes, I mean, the end scene is fucking perfect as well, but the last 20 minutes, when frickin' Nosferatu comes to Aaron Taylor Johnson or whatever's wife, and that whole sequence of events happens, and then they go on the first time I watched it, I kind of missed the fake hunt part of it at the end. I mean, and there was a clear conversation that Willem Dafoe and Lily Rose Depp have. And I kind of missed that. I kind of caught on after a little bit, but all the details and stuff that I feel like I didn't get a full picture on, I got in the second viewing. So
nice. That's awesome.
And I fucking love the movie.
It's a story.
You got to do that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish I got to go see it again. It's so cool because it's a story that has been told 10 times, and he still made it his own. It's still he drew something different out of it. The whole occult element of it really making Nosferatu just a demon. Just it felt different, even though it's familiar still. It made it feel evil in a way that I never quite believed in the Coppola version, or
I like that. I like how you said that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Was your number funny? 2, Randy? Was your number 2 Nosferatu?
No, it was in his 9 or something.
Yeah, it was my number 9. Oh, I just really enjoyed it. I really, really, really liked that movie a lot. I think that him making that movie, because you were saying how he liked how he took a familiar character and retold it in his own way. Mm-hmm. Dude, that was a very bright and intelligent, calculated move, because he took a character that we know and we could do that with, and he changed enough of it. And he could have done the same story with a new character, and it would have been the exact same movie, and it would have fallen flat on his fucking face. But he had a choice. Do I use a name that can get people's attention and change a little bit of it? Because, dude, the whole character looked different. It didn't look like it at all to me. Yeah. And that's what I liked about it. So he took a character and went look, let me use this name to get people's attention, and let me take some fucking real big chances, but I'm going to do this right, and I'm going to trust the audience. And he trusted the audience, and we fucking applauded it. And I think that's dangerous, but I think it's amazing that people have the balls to do that shit. It's just like a musician coming out with Life Won't Wait after they had a classic album, and then they bring this fucking giant piece of artwork to us that's recorded in different places. It's got Jamaican music in it. You're like, what the fuck is this? And then when you listen to it, you go, oh shit, this is pretty amazing. It's ballsy, dude. Like, it's ballsy. A familiar name and then changes. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie, man. It's not going to be my top 5, but it's fucking awesome. It's just like you were talking about the other one. Basically, you had it in the same position.
Long legs
type shit. Like, yeah, it's same type thing, man. Like, it's not your favorite, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And this is what a remake is supposed to be. Like, so many things get remade these days that,
True.
I mean, a remake, I mean, not that any old Nosferatu stuff was like bad, but you take something and you improve it. And so many things get remade by, decent old movies, and they get remade into like dumb
shitty new movies.
Right. Just inferior versions. Yeah. Like watered down versions, especially today. Yeah. He took something and just filtered it through the Eggers lens, made it his own.
Yeah.
And the look of Nosferatu, like Randy sort of said this, but it could have been so stupid. It could have been like looked really corny or
it's
silly.
very, very scary.
But it feels so real. It feels like a dead, count. Like
is gypsy an okay word to use? Because he looked
in the movie.
Yeah. Is that when he was like a dude? Shout out Bill Skarsgård for like having a very unique facial like shape and everything, and still making a fucking awesome career out of it, man. Because to my understanding, he almost didn't have a career. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, because he was odd, and again, to my understanding, I might have something wrong about this, but like, I think he almost quit fucking with it, and then he got Pennywise and just nailed it, and then they were like, "Oh, I know what we can do with this guy," and now he gets other roles too. Like he was good in Barbarian, but he was amazing as Pennywise and amazing as Nosferatu, whatever the fuck guy's name at this point was. Like
John Wick as well, the new John Wick.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But he would have gotten those roles if he hadn't done this other stuff where he transformed his body, and he's got a weird like shaped face. He could do things with it, like, and he was able to recognize that, and I think that's brilliant. This cast was a unexpectedly great cast. I was prepared to not like Johnny Depp's daughter because that's all I kept hearing was her fucking blah, 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 blah. But she was awesome. Sorry,
she was great.
She really is. She really is. Yeah, awesome movie. So my number 1 is Anora. Surprise.
I haven't even given number 2 out yet. So
what was your number 2?
Oh, snap! My bad. My bad. I guess we skipped you. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Who still has 2 left? So somebody else does, right?
No, I think
I'm the only one.
I didn't do. No, y'all did 2 because y'all talked about Nosferatu.
Yeah, me and Chris haven't done 2 yet.
I'm sorry. My bad.
No, that's all good. You want me to do my number 2?
Yeah, do your number 2. Right, because you've done your number 2, right, Clay?
Yeah, Nosferatu is my number 2.
Okay, got it. All right, sorry. We had so much crossover.
Yeah, no, I knew this was going to happen. That's why I was trying to keep track, and I was like, I haven't said anything about this yet, so maybe maybe I thought I was the only one.
My bad.
No, it's not. I don't care. Remember, you told me to shut the fuck. It's your podcast, sir.
That's true.
Terrifier 3 is my number 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I would have lost a bet. if I had made one.
Terrifier 3 is my favorite movie of all time. It's like there's not any. I've already watched that movie like 4 times on my Blu-ray. I've only had it like a couple of weeks. Like it's exactly what I want out of a horror movie. Like every single thing, it's exactly what I want. I want funny. Dude, it's fucking mean. Josh, you never watched it, right?
No.
Okay, so it's different, man. Like tonally, it's the same shit, but it's tonally a way different movie, man. It's like 20-something minutes shorter, so thank God, because the pacing is way different, way better. It's like Damien Leone listened to all the shit people said about that second movie, and because people love that second movie still, but he listened to all the criticism and went, I heard, cool. I'll just make what I should have made with the second one because now that I have the money, I feel like the second one was like his bridge to get to the third one. He wanted to make 1 and 3, but he had to make 2 to get there. It's very mean, dude. Like, Ooh, Vicky in that movie is a mean ass character. They do some nuts, nasty, disgusting shit, and I love it. It's amazing, dude. At one point, he slaps the shit out of Laura Rivera's head twice. I haven't very rarely in my life been like, oh, why would the fuck would you put that in a movie? It was so just mean that I just couldn't. I was like, oh my god, bro, like
I mean, and after he brutally murders people in the shower and literally shoves a chainsaw up somebody's ass and rips them apart, like,
and then cuts the dude's dick in half, like just to do it.
Like later in the movie, he's like torturing the family and he's like slapping Laura Rivera in the head when they're walking.
Just slaps the shit out of her. I don't know. It was so visceral.
For some reason, that does feel meaner than the chainsaw up the ass.
Yeah,
I have to.
And then like that. He like jams that pipe down that lady's mouth, and then he starts fucking hitting it, and it like splits her shit. Then he puts a bunch of rats in there, and then fucking cuts her open, and they come spilling out of her. Oh, dude, this is the most gnarly movie that I've ever watched, bro. Because it's like. A lot of movies, they'll show you some shit. You'll see like the after effects of something, or you'll see like the shadow of it. No, dude, they're like, hey, you want to see this dude's neck get split open real quick? At one point, he's beating the living shit out of this dude in the fucking attic of that. They do that Black Christmas thing where he's sitting in the chair, and it's the one part in the trailer, and he comes up and he grabs the guy, and he scares the dude and throws him. And this is when you figure out that he's telepathically linked to Vicky, and what she's doing is based on him. She's not her own person. She is fucking the creation of his. And she like comes in there. She's like in this like bathtub of sludgy shit water. Like it's disgusting, bro. She's like sitting there, and the guy's like, he's like, hey, are you real? And he's like looking at her, and he can't tell if it's a real person. And she pulls her hand out of this like sludgy, disgusting shit water. She got this piece of glass, and she just goes, bah! And this dude goes, ah! And it just fucking starts spraying, bro. And you're like, oh, these people they're mean. It's just a different movie, man. It's fucking amazing. I love it. It's fucked up, dude. They hacked that kid apart in the first part. It was awesome. It's fucking amazing. And dude, he's like beating that guy to death, and she starts like fucking masturbating with that glass shard. You're like, what the fuck is going on with this movie, dude? Like the whole movie's insane. And then the end of it is so hilarious because you're like, oh, that's the end of the fucking movie. Like it's almost infuriating to me, but it's hilarious. But yeah, it's the very end is a callback to the first time that Art the Clown is even on a screen. So that's what I like. That's the only reason that I wasn't like, fuck, what the fuck? But yeah, I could talk about this movie for 6 hours, man. It's you should never watch it. I'm gonna watch it a lot.
You sold on it yet, Josh?
No, I'm good.
Oh, dude, when he goes into the bar with what's his name? The director's brother's in it. Oh, damn it, Clint Howard's in it.
Yeah.
And they're talking to that Santa Claus, and they start calling him Clowny, and then he pisses in his lap.
I fired the Blu-ray up. I bought it, and I started to watch it with my kids in the room. My kids are 27 and 24 now. But I think about 15 minutes in, they both walked out and went to their rooms. Like, and then I tried to power through it. I was like, man, this is pretty harsh. Like, I feel like I'm getting kicked in the balls watching it. So I turned it off, But it's a powerful movie. I think it's a very powerfully executed theme. My number one complaint is that there's no good female nudity in either either 2 or 3. They do have a giant wiener that gets chainsawed to pieces.
I kind of like that it's a dick and not a woman because I see tits everywhere.
But they do have beautiful women. Laura Rivera is a fantastic actress, I think, and I'm glad she's in this franchise because let's just say it's the only thing she ever does in her whole life, right? Acting wise, it's freaking great for her.
That's how I feel about David Howard Thornton. Good, I'm so happy for him because like he could have been like this obscure actor that never got much work, but he got this role with this dude that he was friends with, and they became like a partnership. And it's more than just a movie for me. But I'm not going to go into all that. I just like the movie because it's real brutal, it's real fucked up, and it's like comical. And I like the fact that people go, "Oh, I don't want to watch that. It's gross." I'm like, yeah, well, then don't. Like that's how I feel about my music too. So, I just. And the thing is, there's only one part of the whole movie that I would change, and it's like a 30-second part, and for that reason, it's probably going to be my favorite movie. Period. The end. Hard stop. Which is odd because it's my number 2 and not my number 1.
2.
Yeah. Because it's not my favorite actor. But yeah, Chris, go ahead with your number 2, brother man.
Yeah, my 2 is Dune 2. Yeah, we already kind of talked about it. Yeah, better than the first. It was awesome. Can't wait for the next one. I mean, hopefully don't run it into the ground. I hope they don't. I mean, I think Denis has already said he's out after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good thing too.
This,
yeah.
The second Dune Messiah, the second novel, kind of finishes what's his name?
Paul
story. Atreides' story. So yeah, I think that's sort of the end of his run for it.
I think that's the proper way to end it. But I mean, I know there's more books, so I mean, and it gets wacky from what I understand.
And we've got a show on HBO. And
yeah, so I mean, I hope they don't try to Walking Dead this thing and just milk everything they possibly can.
Yeah, I was like, good luck with that.
Yeah, I heard the show's not very good. I haven't watched it.
I heard it gets better after the first couple episodes.
Okay.
I was talking.
Why do they have all these shows that come out and they're not good till their third or fourth episode? Like, just start it good. Like, if you can get it good, why don't you just start it good? Fuck, it's annoying.
I should talk to HBO.
They wouldn't listen to me anyway.
You should go work for them.
I'd put Art the Clown and everything, and they'd be like, "This guy's stupid." I need to watch Dune 2 over again because I didn't really care for it much. I didn't think it was bad. I just wasn't impressed by it, and I don't know why. Krista really likes it, so I'll probably give it another watch with her. I'm super willing to and interested in rewatching it. I don't. My opinion's more or less like not an opinion. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just wasn't like super hyped, but everybody else fucking loves it. So I just need to rewatch it. I think I like the story. I like the actors. It looks really cool. Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace. I'm sure you guys can understand that if you're not in the right headspace, nothing you watch is going to make you stoked. So I've only seen it the one time, and that's kind of, I think, the issue with it.
Yeah. I guess but I mean, I wouldn't really expect you to be super in love with it in the first place, but
no, but it's a good movie though. I should like it.
I think it's I mean, good enough action and
well, dude, Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet are two people I really enjoy. Specifically, Timothy Chalamet. That guy's awesome.
Yeah. So
cool. So my number one is Anora.
What? I had no idea.
Surprise!
Number one. I'm kind of surprised it's number one for you, man.
Man, this is just my jam. Like, if you think about the movies that I love, like Scorsese and Paul Thomas Anderson, stuff like that. If you look at that, this is that type of movie. Like, it feels gritty and real, but
kind of a hangout movie.
But it's entertaining. Like,
I think it's the goofy duo, the goofy kidnap duo that I see like connects with you most, in my opinion. Like when I think of the movies you like, I'm like the goofy kidnap duo guys, the Russians.
Right.
That's what Josh likes.
It's definitely like a screwball comedy in its heart. Like it is sort of
what?
Yeah. Like a romantic screwball comedy, but if it was real.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a million laughs, but yes, it's funny.
Yeah,
there's a lot of funny parts in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it like I like the roller coaster. It feels like it feels like a 70s movie, but made in today's world. Like it's about the world we live in today. The people like about people trying to survive in this world today. Like it's about a sex worker, Anora. She's a stripper and a sex worker, and she basically marries this. We all watched it. So she marries this Russian oligarch, and then his parents are mad about it, and wildness ensues. Like I like how it keeps changing. It's this like American fantasy turned into this like after hours like roll through the city trying to find this guy that turns into like this tragedy for this woman basically, and then it ends on this really like heartbreaking note. I really like Sean Baker. Like he's a really good director. He's done Florida Project and Red Rocket. I like those movies, but I really wasn't expecting this out of the movie. Like it really surprised me. It won like the Palme d'Or at Cannes and stuff, and I was like, "What? That doesn't sound like a Sean Baker movie to me. Like not the sort of thing that would win an award like that." And so I didn't watch it for a while, and then it was about to leave theaters. There was like one showtime left at AMC for the weekend, and I was like, "Oh." Let's took my wife and we went and saw it, and we just had the best time. Like it's probably the best theater experience I've had in a long
I'm
time.
super jealous.
That'll change your opinion on a movie that even if you like the movie.
That absolutely colored it, no doubt. I wonder if we had all like, not that this is a movie that we would like all go out of our way to see together, maybe, but I think if we were all in the theater when we saw this, you'd probably like it a little bit more, because when you're on the ride with a whole group of people, you're going through all the emotions. It just you feel it more. Like it's
didn't Clay like this one a lot too?
I did. I saw it and I thought it would be my number one, but I struggle a bit because it like there is a lull in the middle and I feel it, and I don't know. I think I need to watch it again, but it's an incredible movie. I think it's a masterpiece for sure. And you're contending for me against three other masterpieces of the year. Yeah, it is just, to me, it was incredible. I had a relationship with a dancer one time, and it brought back like memories of that to some degree, and like how crazy their life is. It's, you work in a club, you entertain for a living. You are, especially if you're a beautiful woman, it is, you're sought after, you're being promoted, I guess, in that world, that industry, to be elite in elite clubs. And I mean, it's just a very fast life. So watching that, I felt like, God, I feel the energy that these people feed off of, right? I understand why they do what they do, just because can be so much damn fun, but it's also very shallow and very hurtful. And you have to put your guard up and expect to be disappointed almost continually, like anything, I guess. But you feel that from the characters. I don't know, man. I just thought it was like, I thought I would start watching it and just be like, yeah, whatever, Josh, I got to go to bed. And I remember staying up. It was like 2:30 when that thing was over. And I kept saying, I need to turn this movie off. It's really late and I'm tired, but I just can't stop. Like, what's going to happen here?
right.
And I thought Nora, the character, was great because she's really feisty. She didn't lay down. She didn't let herself get pushed around. She fought for her position.
She's relatable. Like
she kind of wanted justice, and I wanted sort of justice for her. Like, but at the same time, you're like, but do you deserve it, right? And so there's a kind of a quandary there. It was just a badass movie to me, man.
Did you watch it, Chris?
Yes, I did watch it. And sorry, I gotta go. My house is descended to chaos. I have to go. I don't know if you can hear crying and screaming in the background, but yes, I did like it. Y'all know what my number one is. Y'all know what my number one is. Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Yeah.
So
it was good to hang, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta go.
All right, later, dude.
All right,
I'll talk later.
Man, I'm not gonna dwell on it too much, but I fucking hated that movie. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I bought it and I thought I was gonna fucking love it, and then I watched it with Carissa, and the end of it made me so fucking angry. Like I don't get it. So yeah, I don't understand. I don't get it. Yeah, I didn't like any of the people. I didn't like any of the people in it. I think that was my issue. Is I didn't like any of the people in the movie. I understood her, but I don't like stripper types. I've been around them as well, and I'm just not a fan. And but like I didn't like the dude. I didn't like his fucking parents. His dad was a spineless pussy. She didn't get what she wanted to get. I knew she wasn't gonna.
Yeah, I mean, you know where it's going. Like it's going to end bad, obviously. Yeah. But it is like it's and normally it's not a character I would like.
I was very surprised that you liked it as much as you did.
But I think that the movie is great because I'm able to relate to her, and like it's never, it's not a position like I don't ever want to walk in those shoes or like even be in a place like that. And I still felt like this deep empathy for this character. Like I wanted her to be happy. Like she was.
I can agree with that.
She was just trying to like get out of her situation. She didn't want to do that job, but that's like what made her money. That's what got her by every day. And she got handed this like this like lottery ticket. And she's a young kid, so so she for a moment like thought, oh, maybe this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Even though like we on the outside can look at it and be like, come on, this guy is a fuck up. He obviously doesn't do anything. He's just a rich, spoiled brat.
Yeah.
But it felt like real. Like this is like the sort of shit that you could see happen easily. And it's so easy to
believe that. Yeah.
And
that would have happened.
And they're partying and they're doing drugs and all this stuff. And like it's so seductive and so easy to just get like pulled into that life and be like, hell yeah, this is what we're doing. We're getting married. It's just going to be parties 24/7 for the rest of our lives. It's going to be great. And then it's not. And that, the middle section of the movie is definitely what makes it and the very end. But that middle section where the thugs break into the house and they're tying her up, and it's just scenes that like won't end. Like
the part when that dude is like trying to get her and she's like trying to run and he's like no, and he wasn't touching her.
Yeah.
I told Carissa right then, I was like, she's gonna end up fucking with that dude. Like I knew the whole movie. And maybe it's because I've been around degenerate people like this. Okay. Like I didn't like any of it. Like I knew it and I was like, oh well, fuck, dude, why can't she end up with that rich guy? It's a fucking movie. It's not real. But see, that's what we look at things completely different, like you and I. Mm-hmm. And something that I've realized in the past, like maybe 3-4 months, mm-hmm. is that I look at things different. I mean, this should be obvious, right? But I look at things different than like the situation that you just described. You're like, yeah, she's just a young kid that she doesn't want to do that job. She's got to. The way that I look at the world is like, no, you don't. You don't have to. So I just don't see things the way that you see things. And so I don't watch movies the same way you watch them even. So like there's many, many layers. And I don't want to just keep bagging on this film. I'm happy that you liked it. I don't give a shit if I don't like it. It doesn't matter. I will probably revisit it. There's enough of her naked in it for me to at least watch it one more time. Yeah. She is incredibly attractive to me. But, I might give it one more watch. I'll probably watch it with Chris again if she will. She didn't like it either. And I was like, okay, maybe if she likes it, I'm tripping. And she was like, whoa, no. So again, weird. Rewatch was probably in order on this one. Okay. I don't know if it'll ever be on like a top 10 list for me, but I was incredibly unhappy at the end of that movie. Maybe that's what it needs to be. Maybe it needs to be like that. It's supposed to be like, well, I mean, I don't know like what type of unhappy you mean by that, but I just didn't enjoy it. I was like, that was a waste of my time. But, I mean, you had the foresight to not go watch Terrified 3. You wouldn't have liked it. So don't go watch it. I thought I was going to like this one. Even when I saw the trailer, I thought I would like it. Yeah, I remember we were sitting in the theater to watch something else, and you were like, oh, man, this looks good. Yeah, I thought I was going to like it. I really sincerely thought I was going to enjoy it a lot. I thought it would be funny enough that you would. I didn't find hardly any of it funny. Okay. That's why I keep going, huh? That's why I just. This is situational comedy. Like the thugs are just they're so all the bumbling, I think I was so irritated already by the time all that shit started happening that I just was like already like I watched it and I thought I was it's whatever, man. I don't want to just shit on the movie, man. You love it. It's not like poorly made or anything, but it feels. You know what I think I didn't like about it is that I wanted her to fucking win, and I knew she wasn't gonna, and I was proven right, and that pissed me off. It's probably what it was. It's about how poor people
get fucked. Like
that's my entire point. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like
that's the movie. Like if you're a poor person
I don't want to
in
watch
America,
that.
the American dream isn't real. Like you just get swatted down.
Yeah,
over
I mean,
and over.
valid point. And I just think I'm not good with that stuff, man. I just whatever,
Yeah.
I probably relate too much to her character. Even, I mean, there's a lot of similarities between her and I.
I really wondered, like, if you would recognize the types of people in this movie.
Oh no, dude, yes, so much.
Yeah,
so much. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just saw too much of me in it, and I just wasn't comfortable with that. Yeah, I mean and that's okay. That's okay. Not every movie's going to be my speed. Not every movie's going to be your speed. I mean, there's a reason why we all have different lists.
Yeah, and just to touch down on the ending, because I think that's what really like put the period on it for me. Because yes, you could sort of see that Igor had feelings for her throughout, like something was going to happen there, but it's like this whole like fourth act of the movie that in like any other movie you wouldn't get, and it's just like it was so empathetic to me. Like there was at least one person that genuinely cared about her through all of that shit. Like just that little kindness, like sort of redeemed.
Well, by the time it got to that point, I already didn't like her because I was like, no, you're a fuck up. And when this dude is liking you, like the only reason that you're even fucking this dude in the car is because this is another way out for you. And I don't. Yeah, maybe I'm seeing it wrong. That's okay.
So I think she likes him, but she doesn't want to.
I don't think she likes it. Didn't come off, but that's what this is about, though. Is this conversation? In my opinion,
exactly. Yeah, I think the end is sort of like
ambiguous
in a way. Like, so there's these sex scenes all throughout the movie, right? Like the kid, the Russian kid, and her having sex, and it's just like this 10-second like just getting it on. And then they're partying again, Right. It's like it's just it's not. There's no. He's just getting off, basically, right? He's just using her. It's transactional, and when he gives her the ring at the end, and she starts to have sex with him in the car, that feels like she's trying to create another transaction again, because that's like what she's programmed to do. That's like, this is what I have to give back to you, but it's not the same. It's completely different than all those other sex scenes by comparison.
Well, I've been around a lot of people like that, and I saw that as like, oh, you like me, you'll take me. Oh, okay. And it's like, dude, you don't even fucking like. You know how many girls that I know that have done that shit? You know how many times I've been the fucking dude? That's probably what all this is, man. Because I've been the guy that was nice to the girl and treated her right and da-da-da-da. And 2 or 3 dudes later, she's calling me up. And I'm like, dude, I don't got time for this shit. And I think maybe, I mean, and it's okay to have personal experiences make a movie not okay for you. Like, that's perfectly fine. I just was like, oh, you're a scummy person and I don't fucking like you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to look at you because you're fucking hot and you're stripping when you could do other things. You're fucking this guy and you're like, oh, a millionaire guy. Dude, like, how fucking dumb are you that this rich kid wants to marry you and you fucked him on like what you told him 16 grand or whatever it was, like, to fuck him, and then he wants to marry you and you're like, oh yeah, he loves me. Are you stupid? Like, I guess so. And I think it's unlikable for me, but it touches home too close to home.
I mean, it's Pretty Woman if it was fucking real life, right? Like that
movie's fucking dumb too.
Yeah, it's like, but that's the unbelievable part of it. Oh, they end happily ever after.
Right. That is, I mean, that's a very good point. That's a very valid point.
Yeah, it's like let's take this through the lens of the filter it through reality and what would actually happen in 2024, and it's really sad, but I just found it. I felt all the emotions. Like the whole movie took me on a roller coaster. Like,
I think I'm too calloused in some of those departments. Like I'm super serious when I say that. Like, I think I'm just too calloused in some of those departments. I've been through too many things. I've had too many fucking really bad things happen to me. And I'm like incredibly grateful for what my life is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? But I've still got 40 years of like nonsense, bullshit, bad luck, and just fucking boot heels on my head to where I look at this and I just don't give a shit. I didn't have the same emotions. I'm like, dude, yeah, life's tough for everybody, man. Like it is what it is. I mean, shit, you had a kid really young, man. You can relate to that. Life was tough. Dealt you a real weird fucking hand. You still dealt with it, right, man? And I don't know. Yeah. I look at things kind of fucked up sometimes, I guess, and I just don't, I don't. Yeah, maybe you could have a little more respectable, meek life if you weren't stripping, so you could get thousands of dollars, so you can spend your money on this bullshit and sleep all day. Like, fucking stop, man. There's a way to live in a way where it may not be as glamorous. It's like a girl right now that's doing OnlyFans. Like, I don't got no time for that shit, man. It's fucking stupid.
No, I agree with you, and that's what I was saying earlier. Though it's like this is not a person that I would normally relate to or care about, but we all did like stupid shit to make money and like get by when we were kids. I know you did, Randy.
Yeah, man,
I know you made lots and lots of mistakes when you were 20 years old, right?
No, for sure. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. Maybe that's why I'm just old and like I don't want to watch this. I don't like it.
These are the sort of like mistakes that you make to grow and become a better person though too. You got to like go through these heartaches.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that all the way, but
I mean, they're pretty extreme mistakes. If one of our children was running around, dancing and staying out nights, and that was what they did for a living, and that was their mistake, I'd kind of be like, shit, Not that it's, I mean, I wouldn't be proud of it, honestly. So
I was like,
not to throw shade on any industry or any lifestyle or any of that, but I mean, for me, it just doesn't work. I don't necessarily, I don't go to strip clubs, or it's never really been a thing for me. But I know it's important to some people in their lives, and that's how they make their money, and that's fine. People don't like financial advisors for that matter. So, hey,
right.
I definitely get, I thought it was an awesome movie, man. I thought it, just like Josh said, it kind of touched all the bases, but
yeah, I'll probably revisit at some point. Cause like, it was like, here's the thing. I would rather watch it and then be like, that was a fucking stupid movie, than watch it and be like, meh. That's the worst reaction I could have. Meh, whatever, it's okay. Like that's a terrible reaction. Sure. I want something. I'd rather hate it than did not care. It's just like people on the internet. When I do my videos, I'd rather them shit on me than say nothing at all. Like at least there's an emotion there. So for that reason, I can say that I probably will revisit it. And when I do, maybe I'll like it more. Who knows, man? Everything, and I'm starting to understand this now at middle of life. Maybe 2/3 through my life by now. Who knows? Everything's situational, man. Everything. When I first heard a record, I may not like it. I got to go back and listen to it again later. And a movie's a little longer, so it takes a little more time. But I bought it knowing full well that there's a chance wasn't going to like it. I'll watch it again, man. It wasn't horrible. I didn't go, ugh, I can't stand this movie. Like Irreversible, I'll probably never watch again. This is not that kind of movie. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just it doesn't feel like Hollywood bullshit to me. Like
I can agree with that. I can agree with that wholeheartedly.
It felt fucking real to me. Like
that's a common trope with all of our movies that we pick. Most of them don't really feel like Hollywood bullshit.
Yeah.
Immaculate, Maxine, The Substance, like they're all like made by dudes that love their craft.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Did y'all already both talk about number one? Clay didn't, right? Let's go. What you got, buddy?
My number one was Long Legs.
Oh wow.
I think I don't necessarily I would say in my mind it's a serial killer masterpiece. It's right up there with Silence of the Lambs and Seven, and I think that we've been long overdue. I watched The Cell last week. And
I love that movie.
Like, man, The Cell is good, but it really tried to be Seven and Silence of the Lambs with a little more like techie kind of slant.
I need to rewatch that.
Longlegs, I feel like borrows a couple, like especially like the vibe and stuff like that, but retells the story. I don't know, man. I mean, it was scary to me. It's very odd. The people I've recommended it to have been just blown away by it, how weird it is. I love weird stuff. I think like, if you can execute on weird very, very effectively, then that's high on my list. And this one really, really did it for me. So Nicolas Cage, great job. I can't remember. I know the chick's name. I went and watched all of her daggum
Micah
movies.
Monroe.
Yeah, Micah. She's a beauty. She's a fantastic actress. Seemingly versatile. She's working on it, I think. But
You
man,
like The Watcher?
Yeah, The Watcher. And then there was that one
movie.
where she was a junkie or whatever that I told you with Nicolas Clauster-Vadu or whatever. You remember she had a big tattoo on her neck?
God, oh, I like that movie. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. That was a good ass
movie for her. So
I want to rewatch that movie. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Gosh, let me see here, Mike. But I mean, it was just awesome to me, man. I thought we were long overdue for something like that, and man, it worked. So
yeah.
What was your number one, Randy?
It was Longlegs, but I'm an idiot. It's not really Longlegs. It's obviously Terrifier 3. I was just being stupid. Longlegs is my number 2. Terrifier 3 is my number 1. Of course it is. Come on, man. It's fucking Terrifier 3. It's my favorite. I was
gonna say, movie. Like, how did that happen?
No, I knew I could get you guys with that. I was like, if I'm gonna say this, they're not gonna even believe me. I gotta not start grinning like a dumbass. So I made it through the fucking stupid thing that I always do. But Longlegs is my number 2, and honestly, dude, it is incredibly close. I have watched Longlegs so many times already. I watched it in a theater multiple times. I love that movie. It's the first movie since I've been friends with you that I've watched a bunch of fucking videos on it. I did my own research.
I know, you did the Josh deep dive.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah. And so like I know that you can appreciate me doing that. And I love that. The more I learned about it, the more I liked it. The more I learned about it, the more I watched it. Carissa likes it. Like it's so fucking good, dude. I love the end of it. Nicolas Cage did one thing that I didn't like, and that was that stupid yelling in the car thing. But I can get over it because everything else was basically perfect. The very first kill in the movie was so jarring and unexpected in the theater that I was like, they never get me with that shit. I'm never caught off guard, dude. And I was like, oh, shit. I did not see that coming. Even though I kind of thought something was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be that. Like, fuck, that movie's so good. And I don't know
Go ahead.
No, I don't put it with 7 and Silence of the Lambs, dude. It's in a lane all its own. Mm-hmm. I think that and I think all 3 of those movies are. So I guess for that reason it will be kind of like those, but they're all 3 of these movies. I think this one will go on a shelf next to it, kind of. But like,
it's that's a Trojan horse to like get you into the movie. Like it's obviously playing on those archetypes intentionally, like so people to get people in the theater, like people like 7 and Silence of the Lambs.
This is familiar.
Get you into the movie, and then it takes a left turn. Yeah,
it has the way spiritual aspects to it too. Like, maybe demonology or something like that. And there was some crazy writing, like cryptology, kind of weird messages, subliminal.
I'm gonna watch that shit tonight.
This is a badass movie for me, man. I had real trouble putting it above Nosferatu.
I was pretty surprised when you did.
Splitting hairs for me.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, honestly, about T3. I'm like, it's my favorite movie, kind of like, but like, I don't know, man. Like, Longlegs is a better movie, so obviously, like, it's just kind of like, whatever, man. What mood am I in today? Am I in the mood for gore, or am I in the mood for like something cerebral? Right. And I feel like I'm gonna watch this movie 6 more times in the next year and get something out of it every single time. I like the fact that the little black smoke shit coming out of the dolls wasn't even actually in the story. It was just for the fucking viewer. Like shit like that was like, man, like the way you feel about Honora is how I feel about this. I relate to it on every single level of it. I like every person in it. She's so weird and quirky in this movie. Turns out she's not actually weird and quirky. It's this fucking guy the whole time. It's just like, it's so clever, man. It's just like, gotcha again. But I was kidding the whole time. And it's just like, oh, what the fuck is happening? So, yeah. I know Clay's trying to get the fuck out of here too, man. Movie's awesome. I'll rewatch Honora and get back to you on that. The only one that I don't understand is the Dune thing. I just never really, I got to rewatch that movie, man.
You're not really a sci-fi guy, though.
I know I'm not really. I like some of it, but it's got to have a lot of horror in it.
Yours was a pretty like pure horror list. I liked it.
I tried to step out of the box. I couldn't. Nothing was even. Furiosa was like, but that's about as sci-fi as I get. But that was a cool movie too. I liked it. But man, this
guys,
fun.
It's been fun. Yeah,
that was.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we wrapping up here?
We're wrapping up. Yeah, that was a fun. That was
He's
a fun
trying to get the
conversation.
fuck out of here.
No, I'm gonna step away from the podcast. I think I told the buddies a couple days ago. It's been a great run. We've done this a couple years now on a couple different channels. I'm a huge introvert. Like at the end of the day, so being on YouTube was a big step for me, and all of a sudden I was kind of like, you know what? I think I feel comfortable back where I was a little bit.
Hey man, I'm glad you were here, brother.
It's been a freaking fantastic time. And we'll still all hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me on all the years. It's been a blast. I really look forward to it every single week. And after a while, I was just like, man, I'm just, I got some migraines I get all the time and all kind of bullshit. So I'm just like, you know what? I just need a break. And then I was like, this is the perfect time, I think, to retire because it's start of the new year. We did our, wrap up, and guys can launch on a, a whole new footprint, hopefully.
I almost forgot about the movie I was going to pick because I wanted to tell you that I fucking love you, man, and I'm glad you were here. And
you too, man.
When I saw that text, I didn't want to get all weird about it, but it like fucked me up the whole day. Whole day, I was like, "Fuck, dude." I was like, "No, I can't fucking quit the goddamn show." But in all seriousness, it really bothered me. I was sad. I was like, "Man, was it something I did wrong?" And then I was like, "No, I gotta trust that he's telling us the truth. It wasn't me being stupid." And so if you ever need me, bro, my phone is on 24 hours a day. You can call me at 3:26 in the morning if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I'll come to your house if I need to.
Same here.
Hells yeah.
Ditto. I was bummed when you said it too, but I understand. And of course, you're the bud, so we support you. Whatever you need to do, man. So
fuck yeah.
Thanks for sticking through with us for as long as you did, and you're always welcome to jump on whenever you feel like it. If you ever feel like coming back sometime.
Thank you. All right.
Hell yes, dude. Fuck yeah. Hey, if you want to watch this and talk in the thread with us, it's a movie called Coming Home in the Dark. I don't know if anybody's seen it yet. I'm excited. I haven't been excited about a movie like this in a while. I'm I'm pretty excited. Because I had a movie picked out already, but I started thinking about it and I was like, no, I want to come with something fresh that I don't think we've seen. And I watched a lot of reviews on just like different people's lists. And this guy was comparing this movie to he was like, it's the quality of movie of The Watcher and Blue Ruin. It's like that quality. And I was like, oh fuck, I love both of those movies. Okay. So I hope it's great. Clay, I hope you can watch it and at least listen to us talk about it. I need to tell Chris to watch it, but I'm pumped. I think I might have actually brought a winner to the table this time.
Awesome.
So hopefully,
I'm excited for you.
Sounds good.
All right, Clay. Have a good night, brother.
All right.
I can feel him itching, dude.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Later.